I was gonna do this live for you at 8:15, but I'm gonna do it now. Breaking Atoms, man. We down to number 2, the second most underrated classic album of all time, according to my book that I wrote years ago. It's called Breaking Atoms by Main Source, 1991, Wild Pitch, EMI Records. Ghostface is one of the most underrated producers to ever produce a record. He was a talented MC as well. He joined Main Source in 1989 along with Toronto Surf Scratch and Case Cut. The group was compared to Steely Dan because of their meticulousness in the studio. Main Source was an underground group with an influential sound of their own. The group used jazz and soul music samples that would be influential on other hip hop producers for the most of the 90s. That's the reason why this album is in the top 5 underrated classic albums. This album is one of the most important albums in hip hop history. Breaking Atoms was released on July 23rd, 1991. The same album that introduced the rap world to Nas, if you listen to Live at the Barbecue. Now, the concepts and ideas musically is very influential. Listen to Pete Rock's musical production on the records he has done. The hits off this album was Looking at the Front Door, which was the #1 in the Hot Rap Singles chart. Just Hanging Out was number 11 on the same chart. Watch Roger do his thing, and Peace Not the World to Play. The album was number 40 on the R&B Hip Hop Albums chart. And the final analysis. Breaking Atoms was a groundbreaking album not because of the lyrics, but the sound of the album that will spawn other albums such as Pete Rock, C.L. Smooth, and Sober. Ghostface's production on this album was on a whole different level in the history of hip hop. There will never be an album quite like Breaking Atoms. All right, so let's get into this. Why this even more underrated classic. It was a blueprint for 90s East Coast hip hop, masterminded by teenage Ghostface, seamlessly jazzing, sampling the legendary introduction of a young Nas on Live at the Barbecue, helped cement this influential yet commercially modest legacy. The birth of boom bap, large professors Chris drum programming, rich multi-layered jazz soul sampling, created a fluid musical blueprint that shaped the sound of New York's golden era. When his later work on Nas Illmatic, Ground Zero for Nas, just marked the beginning, the debut of Nas, whose verses are considered some of the greatest introductory bars in hip-hop history. The lyrical maturity that was exceptional by Ghostface, delivering clever, grounded lyricism with high-label average song concepts like Looking at the Front Door. One and done match, man. Unfortunately, because of internal financial label disputes, the original trio split up shortly after. This makes Breaking Atoms a singular, uncorrupted masterpiece rather than a diluted series of albums. That's why this album's underrated, man. The innovation of it, the songwriting, there's a friendly game of baseball, looking at Front Door, the storytelling, everything. This is the beginning of Nas's career. This his debut. This is it. This is it right here. Breaking Atoms, Main Source. This is it, man. Classic. Masterpiece. That's what it is. So till then, that's it for today. Talk to you tomorrow.